Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to be doing a tier list video and an updated one since the last one I did was for the Easter event, and there's been a lot of new tunes, a lot of changes, and a lot of new things were added. So I'm going to be basically making the entire tier list from scratch and like giving you guys like the reasons why they're in these tiers and stuff like that. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm sorry if I sound a little dead. It's because I was just very sick and I still don't feel the best, but I'm gonna pump out this video for you guys. So yeah, let's get into the tier list. We're gonna start off, we're just gonna go in alphabetical order. Okay, we're gonna start off with Astro. Astro is going to be in the A tier, and Astro's in the A tier because he is a main tune, therefore he is just like naturally stronger than other tunes because they get like an extra stat star. So no matter what, you're naturally stronger than all the other tunes. His ability is really good for beginners and beginner distractors because distractors tend to use a lot of stamina when they're like early and they don't know how to use like stamina management and stuff like that. So having an Astro on your team helps alleviate that pressure, especially when you're going against tunes like Twisted V plus Shelly plus basically any other main combo. Astro's Trinket's also pretty good. It got reworked, so now when you're on a machine, it gives you a lot of stamina regen. It's not like meta defining, but it's not a bad trinket, you know? So Astro's just an overall good character. Has he fallen out of meta a little bit? Yeah, kind of, especially with the most recent update with Dial and Dial's trinket, but I'll get into that later when we touch on the distractor. Next we have Bassie. Bassie is going to go in the A- tier. Once again, she is a main. However, she only has a few like niche roles. I would say like 2 niche roles. Before the nerfs that I'm going to talk about, Bassie would have been an A tier, maybe S tier. But now Bassie is just like an A-. She's just okay. Like she's above okay, but just like barely above okay, if that makes sense. She kind of is like the team's backpack. So it's not like a bad ability, right? Her kit is not bad at all. The fact that you can hold items, drop it for your team, pick up more items is just insane. It makes healers good, it makes distractors good, but basically Bassie's just like a walking backpack. And it's not a bad thing, but it's also not the best thing for your team, you know? Like you would rather have like someone who could extract like better, because Bassie is not completing a single machine. And if you are completing a machine, you are lying to me. But yeah, Bassie is just like okay. Her trinket's booty buns. Don't get it. Well, I mean, if you have Bassie, you have it. Just don't use it. I'll make a trinket tier list soon. It'll probably be after when I'm recording this. So I uploaded the short today. It's gonna be so tomorrow's this video. After tomorrow is going to be the trinket tier list. Or no, wait. So today I posted a short. Today for you guys, I'm posting this video, and then tomorrow for you guys, 2 days for me, I'm posting a distractor guide, fully revamped. And then after that, I'll do a trinket guide. Boom, there we go. But yeah, Bassie's just okay at best. Next we have Blot. Blot is going to be going in the A- tier. Blot has good utility because Blot is like one of the only tunes that can genuinely like distract the Twisteds with their ability. When you place down Blot Jr., all the Twisteds run after Blot Jr. because, I don't know, they want Blot Jr., I guess. He's just so like amazing and talented and special that the Twisteds all run towards him like he's a piece of candy. Is Blot Jr. a guy or a girl? Or are they non-binary? Non-binary T. Okay, anyways, yeah, Blot Jr. And Blot are just a good all-round like distractor. They're not the best distractor, not the best extractor, but their ability makes it so that they can be a viable pick in a lot of runs, and also their stealth stat is good for distracting as well. I think it's 2 or 3. Either way, it's good for distracting. Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this character. I'm gonna be nice. Bobette is not completely useless. Bobette's like a good C tier. If you want to know why I dislike Bobette and why Bobette I think is a pretty bad tune, you can watch my other video where I basically say like Dandy's World is over and why Dandy's World is failing at that moment, because it was like on the downfall, but then they brought it back, thankfully, with the Dial update. But I'll just give a short rundown of it. Basically, Bobette is a mess. You have survivalist stats with not even survivalist stats, like you're half survivalist, half extractor because you have good skill checking, you have good stamina, but your like kit doesn't like really push that as like a main focal point for like Bobette. And also, you're not good enough to where your abilities aren't good enough to where it's like worth running Bobette in a team, especially as a main Toon, because you're already down 1 heart. So if you get hit, it's like already like wraps for you, right? And your stealth isn't good either, so you're gonna be taking the Twisteds if you have like a Pebble, or if you have like a anyone that has 3-star like stealth, right? So you're taking Twisteds, you're not really that good at surviving, you're really not that good at extracting. What do you do well? Your best bet is surviving in a solo run, because you have a get out of jail free card with Bobette's ability, the gift wrapping present thing, where she goes in her present. I wish she would stay in it forever, but I think it's just like not a good enough Toon to where it's like, oh, I want to play Bobette in this run because Bobette's going to be helpful here. Bobette's going to do something that another Toon cannot. And the only thing Bobette's useful is that she can survive, and that her little stamina circle, I guess, regens you a little bit faster. But at the end of the day, if you're picking Bobette for the stamina regen, why don't you just pick Astro? Like, if 2 + 2 is 4, then what is this, right? So yeah, Bobette's just a good C tier, possibly low C tier, possibly high D tier. But yeah. Next, we have Boxten. Boxten's a good all-rounder B tier. His ability makes it so that he can be a really good extractor. He's actually, in my opinion, the better of the 2 to pick when you start out the game. Boxten's just like a good all-rounder, good baseline for people getting to know the game and how to like do machines. And then when you're in a full lobby, you do machines really fast. So it's just like a really good starter Toon, you know? He's just a starter Toon. There's not much to say about him other than that he's a really good starter Toon. Next, we have Brightney. Brightney's gonna be in B tier. Yeah, no. Well, Brightney's high C tier. Brightney is very situational. However, they're a good extractor. The main focal point with Brightney is that she's great in blackouts. So when the blackout is happening, you're basically like Vee 2.0, or I guess Vee 1.0. because new Vee is really better now. But yeah, you get the V scan, and you're really bright in blackouts, so like your team always knows where you are. The only problem with that is that your stealth is 1, so if your distractor ever gets near you, you will be taking those Twisteds, because the only other Toons with 1 stealth are Shrimpo and Gourdy. So you just won't, you'll be having the Twisteds a lot if you don't know like what you're doing. But otherwise, Brightney is like a pretty decent Toon, you know? Not terrible. The ability's only in blackouts, but the stats make up for it otherwise. Like, it's not like a useless Toon. Speaking of useless Toons, that's mean. No, but it's true. Brusha is low-key kind of useless. Brusha's really good. Okay, listen. Brusha is really good character design, really okay-ish stats, you know? But if you're picking Brusha, it's kind of just a waste of time, because when you can get that skill check boost, right, for your teammates, but why would you boost your teammates when you could be doing a machine yourself? Is that like, you know, on the last machine you can do that, I guess, but like, why aren't you on a machine if it's 0 out of 4 machines and you're sitting there right next to me boosting me when I already know I'm going to complete this machine? So why don't you do something useful, you know? That's at least how my thought process is for Brusha. Brusha has a, you know what, I'll give Brusha low C tier, because there's a really niche build for Brusha that makes Brusha kind of like a semi-distractor. If you run, I think it's Peppermint Icing and Pink Bow, I think. It's like Peppermint Icing, Pink Bow, or Peppermint Icing, Feather Duster. Basically, whenever you swap abilities, you gain stamina back. Like, whenever you use your ability, since it's a toggle, you get stamina back, so you can run infinitely if you like time it well. So yeah, that build, I used it in my Brusha guide to like show like Brusha isn't like completely useless and like reliant on teammates, but Brusha's just like an okay-ish Toon, you know? A lot of okay-ish Toons, you'll see that in this list. Next up, we have Cole. Cole is a B tier Toon. There's not much to say about Cole. She has an ability that highlights all the items on the map once. You can basically do that like once every floor because the cooldown's so incredibly long. It's good for research runs. It's good for Sprout-ish, I guess. Like if you want to like get the items, like just like have a, if you have picture perfect memory, you know, you could just scan once and then the Spot's like, okay, let's go. And then he skips up all the items. Otherwise, Cole's just like, okay. Actually, Cole is really good in I-Core runs when you're trying to farm I-Core. If you have one person playing Cole, that means you can find all the research capsules pretty easily because Cole will just highlight them so that you can run to them, and that's a lot easier to remember than all the items. It's just the capsules. You can like remember the general area of them. So yeah, Cole's pretty good in like some niche situations, but otherwise, like they're just an okay distractor. Next up, we have Coco. Coco finally is breaking the below B tier curse. They are an A- tier. This Coco is actually really paired well with Bassie, because you'd be using Coco in what's called stealth runs. Now, stealth runs are where basically the tunes that have higher stealth are prioritized so that you can use different tunes like Coco, Bassie, insert another stealthy Ginger, Connie, Astro, you know, stuff like that. So that you can use these tunes, and like basically it's just so that Bassie can distract, because Bassie is one of the best distractors in the game if it wasn't for her stealth stat. So that's why Coco's good. Also, Coco's bonbons are really good, really underrated item. You can create them infinitely. Well, not infinitely anymore, sorry, since the nerf. But basically, it's just a really good, like, Coco's just a really good tune overall. Decent stats, good ability, good tune. That's basically how this list goes. Next, we have Connie. Connie is going to be another A- tier. Connie's really good at getting the close machines done because Connie is slow as hell. Excuse my French. Yeah, Connie's just like a good extractor, and also she's okay in solo runs because you don't have to like worry about like Twisted seeing you, because if they see you, you have a personal smoke bomb that you can just use whenever. So that's what makes Connie really good. With the smoke bomb and the extraction, you're basically like a really safe extractor. That's what else can you ask for, you know? Maybe a little bit more speed, but yeah, overall good tune. Next up, we're going to have Cosmo. Cosmo is an A-tier tune. Cosmo is a healer. Think of like Soraka from League of Legends, or like maybe Elliot from Forsaken, like sort of. You're kind of like, you give up your own health to give other tunes more health, like to heal them. And Ginger does the same thing as well, but I'll get to Ginger at a later time. But yeah, Cosmo is just like, you can never go wrong with a healer. Healers will always be above A- tier. Like that is just like the cut and dry end of it, because healers are just so essential in Dandy's world. Because what if you have a run where you get no med hits, no band-aids, nothing, right? You'll have the healer that can at least guarantee some hearts getting back to like the team. That's really all to say about Cosmo. Yeah, that's literally all to say about Cosmo. Next, we have Eclipse. This is actually the first Halloween tune. Wow. Eclipse is going in the A- tier. Eclipse is a decent distractor, a really good distractor in Blackouts, which can help out a lot, because Blackouts isn't hard for the extractors, it's hard for the distractors, because distractors have to navigate through the darkness while trying not to, you know, get hit or like corner checked by a Twisted. And so having Eclipse be have a good like light source and also be really fast and have more stamina in Blackouts, it makes Eclipse just a really good tune in Blackouts in general, like a better Brightney almost. Eclipse can also extract decently well. They're okay in normal floors to distract as well, so it's not like a terrible pick. You know what? I'm gonna put Eclipse above Blot. Yeah, and also, oh, you know, she's a wolf. Wolves are great. Wolves are great. Actually, I can't play Eclipse anymore without thinking of the TikTok, my TikTok, where it's the animals, the oh, baby, I'm praying on you tonight. Yeah, Eclipse is great. You know what would be great? Okay, side tangent. I'll make a timestamp for this as well so that I know when I'm side tangenting and you guys can just skip this part. But I think it would be really cool if there was like an Eclipse blue skin. Like, I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool, because I'm like a cat wolf thing. And there's a cat in game, but I hate that cat. So, you know, if anyone wanted to draw that, you know, that'd be really cool. Whatever. Anyways, next up we have Eggson, another B tier tune. Average, has a little bit of like a wrench built into him. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's just an average tune. These average tunes I'm gonna just get by really fast because there's not a lot to say about them other than that they're okay, you know? Next, Finn. Finn's another B tier tune. He's good at getting to machine, because when you pop a machine, he gets really fast. His stats are pretty good. And that's about it. There's not much to say about those two characters. Eggs and Finn, just average, you know? They're good for beginners. When you get higher up in the ranks, it's like, oh, okay, let's start picking some better tunes. Next up, we have Flutter. Flutter is honestly, I think, one of the most underrated distractors. I don't know if you know this YouTuber, but their name is Enigma73. Love them, go check them out. They do lots of Danny Devil content, they're so great. But they're one of the people that I know distracts on Flutter the best, because Flutter has the ability where she can like dash, and like, it's basically like a really long like speed dash. And I think that if you use this ability correctly and to its maximum potential, Flutter can rival the distraction of like Goob and like maybe Gourdy. No, Goob and Gourdy, both of them. But how many times have I said on this video? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Flutter. Flutter's a good distractor. The only problem is that her stealth is a little bit high on the higher end, and it's not like the best distractor you could pick in the game. But Flutter is a good tune overall as well. Next up we have Flyte. Flyte is A- tier. He's basically, no, he is Flutter's sister. So they have similar abilities. Instead of having like a selfish dash, you kind of like make a gust of wind on the floor and everyone gets a dash. So it's kind of like more of a team player. He has better extraction than Flutter. He can still distract as well as Flutter, a little bit harder, but overall like a decent tune. Like not like terrible. You can pick Flyte and it's like, okay, cool. Flyte is like, okay. Next up we have Gigi. Gigi is going to be A-. Again, I got flashbacks because my first tier list where I put Gigi in I think like C tier or B tier and everyone got mad at me. I've learned Gigi's actually a pretty good tune. Their extraction's good. Their the fact that you can pull a med kit, the fact that you can pull, can you pull a valve? I think you can. I'm not too sure about that. But you can pull items just literally out of your head. Items are really good. Items are what make Dandy's World go faster. So if you can get items and you can put them in and you can use them efficiently, then yeah, go for it. It's a good like ability to have. Also, let's go gambling! Yay! Ginger. We have finally hit our first S tier tune. Wowee. Okay, so Ginger. What makes Ginger so good? Ginger is basically Cosmo, except she can extract better and she has longer range on her ability. So in areas where Cosmo cannot hit, where Cosmo has to like run into the area, Ginger just like can just toss it over there, basically toss the heal over to the tune and like makes it so that the tune is actually like a useful like tune and stuff, and the healing like gets to the tune like faster. The only problem with Ginger is that she's a little slower. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, Ginger is just better Cosmo, therefore it makes her S tier. That is the blanket statement. Glisten. We have Glisten. Glisten is A tier. Glisten has good extraction. Distraction is not strong suit. I don't know why I was about to say that, but good extraction. The only tune in the game who can teleport currently, right? Yeah, the only tune in the game who can teleport. So therefore that makes you just incredible because you can cover such short distances and such long distances in such a short time. Like let's say you're at Broken Elevator and you are doing the last machine and your Pebble is distracting like near the main elevator, like a twisted Pebble or something. Instead of having to worry like, oh my goodness, the Pebble's gonna see me and I'm gonna die, you can just teleport inside the elevator because your team's in there. So it's like not even like a bad like ability at all. So yeah, that's what makes Glisten like pretty good, A tier. The only sad thing is that his skill check, I think, is the only sad thing is that he's not the best, like mobility wise, and also stealth is low. But Glisten's a diva, and you can never go wrong with divas. Next up, we have Goob, our next S tier. Woo! Goob is, okay, maybe there's a little bias here, but just hear me out. Goob is a good distractor because he has 2-star stealth, 4-star movement speed, and it's not like the end of the world if you have 4-star movement speed and you're distracting. And the fact that you can pull tunes into the elevator, like if they're not in a safe area, that can help, like it can help you like save a heart or 2 or 3 or 4, like, you know, it's just a good way to save hearts by pulling people to the elevator when they're in danger. I'm honestly gonna do these next 3 I'll do Gourdy and then I'll do Looey and Pebble combined. We have Gourdy, our newest main tune, Halloween main. He's S tier. He's really good in solo runs and he's good in multiplayer runs as well. He's basically an all-rounder. He's basically an all-rounder. He's basically an all-rounder. He's basically an all-rounder. Why did I say that? If you watch my most recent Gourdy video, somewhere in the video, I literally had a stroke and I said, he's basically a great all-rounder. He's basically a great all-rounder. He's basically a great all-rounder. I don't know what I was doing. I was tired when I was editing the video. I don't know what was happening, guys. I do not know what was happening. I'm so sorry. But yeah, he's basically a great all-rounder. He has great extraction. Literally the best extraction you can have. 5-star skill check and extraction. He has decent extraction, or distraction, sorry, with 4-star movement speed and 1-star stealth. That means you will like literally never get a tune taken away from you unless there's a Brightney or someone using an air horn stupidly. The only problem is that he has stamina management problems, which can be countered with good stamina management like discipline. So yeah, he's just a really good tune. His ability is not the best. Basically, it's called Trick or Treat, and it's where if you use your ability, a ring goes around you, like a pulse, you send it a pulse, and it gives everyone in your vicinity of that pulse a random stat boost, like like stat effect for like a couple seconds. I think it's 15. It's like a 20% boost. Numbers might be wrong, but it's an okay ability, you know? The better ability is his passive. Whenever the elevator opens and whenever panic mode starts, everyone gets a speed boost. That may be sound just like bad, but everyone's basically getting a built-in pull toy. You are getting a third trinket if you have Gourdy on your team. Cut and dry, you get a third trinket. That's basically what it is. So it's good. It makes it so that you can get to the elevator safely. You can get out like quicker. You can do the floor quicker. And he's basically a great all-rounder. So yeah, that's why Gourdy's good. And I would definitely invest in getting him. I would look into that. You should definitely get him before the event ends. Alright, next we have Looey and Pebble. These ones, high S tier. I guess I'm going to touch on that. This is probably the longest portion of the video. I'm going to say why. It's because they're distractors. And Dandy's world without distractors it's not fun, I'll tell you that. Well, it can be fun, but I mean like it's a lot harder. But when you have a distractor, you don't have to worry about any twisteds getting in your way while you're trying to traverse the map and get through machines. The 2 toons that are, or I guess the 4 toons that are best at distracting are probably going to be at the top of the tier list, at the top of the food chain, because, you know, they are like core to to Dandy's world. Like it's what makes Dandy's world distracting. The reason these 2 are good, Pebble has 5-star movement speed, 4-star stamina, can't go wrong with that, and you have a built-in air horn. You literally cannot go wrong with that. And then Looey, instead of getting star stats to his movement speed, he gets movement speed percentages, which actually makes him the fastest toon in the game when you have the correct trinkets and you're at 1 heart. So it makes Looey like just the best distractor in general if you're not taking like hits after 2 1 hearts, you know. Looey can also extract pretty decently. Pebble, not so much, but Pebble has multiple roles. Like Pebble can be the backup distractor, which is like the person that comes in when there's twists that like other Pebbles can't handle or other distractors can't handle. There's what is it called? Comment the name if you know below, because I can't think of it right now. But it's basically when Pebble when Pebble hunts items for Sprout, so that Sprout can get the tapes from the items. It's a GPS Pebble. That's another role for Pebble. And yeah, that's what makes them good. It's because they're really great distractors, and it's like not a bad trade-off at all. There's not much else to say. Next up we have Poppy, another basic toon. She's going in C tier because she is worse than Boxten in general. When you get hit on Poppy, you get a movement speed burst, which helps you get away from the twisted easier. It's a little useless because if you're getting hit by the twisted, unless it's like a twisted with like low recovery time, you should be getting away from the twisted no matter what. As long as you are actively running, hopefully. It's a different story when like there's multiple twists chasing you, then Poppy has like a better usage, which is why she's not terrible, like how I put in the other tier list, how I put in like D and F tier. But yeah, she's just like an okay toon. Next up we have Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle's our first D tier toon. Razzle Dazzle isn't terrible. Well, okay, he's not terrible. He's just like below average compared to the other toons. I honestly really hope to see a Razzle and Dazzle reworked because their character design is really interesting. Like they are literally conjoined twins as a character. It's Razzle and Dazzle. Like you can have Razzle or Dazzle like separate. But and also their skins are really good. But their abilities basically on certain floors they have more movement speed and less extraction. And on certain floors they have more extraction and less movement speed. This is only bad because when you're on those floors with no movement speed, it feels like you are the most useless character in the world, like if you cannot get to a close machine. But if you have the ability to get to a machine, you are useful. And if you get to an area, or like, and when you have the movement speed, right, you don't have like low enough stealth to make it like useful. Like it's to the point where it's like, oh, I don't really like, I can distract well, but I don't have like the stealth to like keep the twisteds on me. But yeah, that's why they're in that slot. Next up, we have Ribecca, next Halloween toon. Rebecca's a B tier, baseline stats, a really good ability. You ignore all debuffs, that means Ichor spells, Shelly, Confusion, Tired, Rodger Capsule, all of that. It's all ignored. Next up we have Rodger, another B tier toon, good all-rounder, good for research, not like, you know, a terrible toon. Next up we have Rudie, another B tier toon. I think there's like you can start seeing like similarities between these. 3-star stats, decent ability, okay like overall, not like terrible. Scraps is our next D tier toon. A D tier. Oh, whoa, what the heck is happening? D tier. Scraps has got a buff. Still wasn't enough to like push Scraps to like a really useful area. Scraps can see machines, which helps a lot, but otherwise it's just like okay-ish. Next up we have Shelly, another S tier toon. Honestly, Shelly's the best toon in the game right now. Shelly makes runs go by much faster. There's a whole run base just dedicated to Shelly. It's called the Machine Crusher run, where you run 6 Shellys and you guys just rush the machines because you can. But yeah, Shelly's great tune. Definitely the first main I would get if I were you. And yeah, just makes her good overall. Next up we have Shrimpo. He's F tier. He's meant to be bad. It's just how it is. Now next we have Soulvestor. He's gonna be basically next to Connie, another Halloween tune. He's okay. His extraction is better than Connie. In exchange for 1 stealth stat. They're siblings. They're basically going to be similar. Actually, no, I'm going to put Soulvestor in A tier because Soulvestor gets an extra heart, which is really useful because that makes medkit value just go up in general. And if you're increasing the value of an item, you're a good tune. That's why tunes like Coco are up there and tunes like Ginger and Cosmo are up there because medkits are more useful on them and it makes items more useful. You know, it's just how it works. Next up we have Sprout, another S tier tune. He's a healer and a semi-distractor if you run Dog Flesh. I have a Sprout guide on my page if you want to learn how to play Sprout. He's just a good tune overall. No, like, there's nothing bad about him. Sorry I'm going fast for these last ones. It's like there's not a lot to talk about for them. Teagan is a good solo tune. I'll put her in A-. I think Teagan got buffed recently. That's all I have to say about Teagan. Teagan's okay. Next up we have Tisha. Tisha's moved down recently. She's B tier. There's just better tunes, alternatives to Tisha. And yeah, she's just not the best tune as she was beforehand. Next up we have Toodles. Toodles is a D tier character overall. Their stats aren't that great. Their ability isn't that great, therefore it makes them a not so great tune. However, I will put them above Razzle Dazzle and Scraps. Next, we have Vee. Vee has gotten buffed multiple times over a couple patches, and so now Vee is honestly an S tier tune. Dare I say one of the best extractors in the game. Like I would put her like Gourdy and like Vee in the same spot because they're just that great overall. The recent buff that Vee got, I'm gonna make a new Vee guide explaining like how to play Vee. Actually, no, I don't need to because you're pressing the same button, you just get more information. But basically now when you scan, you are scanning the machines and the twisteds for everyone. So it's helpful for the extractors and distractors. And another buff that Vee recently got like a little bit before this buff was that now Vee sees the closest tuned machines, not just the closest machine. So that Vee can see, basically you can always see a machine that is free. Or if there's no machine that's free, it's basically like time to get to elevator, you know? So yeah, V is just a great tune, great extraction, can get away easily with pink bow and stuff like that. Great for distractors, great for extractors now. And it's just overall a good main tune. And finally, we have Yatta. Yatta has always been good since their patch. They have basically Gourdy stats, but just a little bit less. And Yatta also is really good solo runs because of the consistency of the items you can get. Like box of chocolates is really good. You can get extraction candies, you can get jawbreakers, you can get lots of different types of candy that'll help you in your run from just doing machines, and you will basically like never run out of items to use ever if you're playing Yatta. So Yatta is just a good consistent pick. She's really good at doing machines. She's really okay. She's okay at distracting, but her main focal point is her doing machines really well. And yeah, that's basically the tier list. If you have any disagreements, let me know in the comments. Every so often when I do one of these tier list videos, I upload the tier list to my Discord bot that gives you like guides and like tips or like a tier list as well, like to see like what tunes are good in which situations. So yeah, I'll be updating that tonight. If you want to join my Discord, it'll be, you know, easier than just watching the whole video. Well, I mean, you already watched the whole video, but you know, it'll have the tier list updated before the video comes out, typically. So yeah. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, because the support really means a lot to me. And I really appreciate that you guys let me be silly online for fun and like help people online for fun. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.